as a full-grown man. I'm sorry, my friend's in his cups. Like, and just trying to be super suave. Suave. That's suave.
Hey,
Ooh.
suave.
For men.
And we're live. But no, on the record, there is nothing that I would not do to get a job at College Humor Dropout.
I think it's possible. I think it's absolutely possible. Another one they did was so funny. They were like, say something that Sam will bleep. Or no, Sam says say something that we have to bleep. And I think Brennan just sang the actual lyrics to like Hey Jude. For copyright reasons they couldn't do it. The girl just said say something that will get us bleep. Like she just said it. And then the other guy was like, I am an employee of College Humor, formerly College Humor, now Dropout. And I believe that. And then it was him, like, he thought someone, and I was, so funny. And I was like, God, I'd do that about my current residencia.
Luckily, we're just on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch live and don't have to worry about any of those things. We're not a company. We represent no one.
Yeah, no. It's what I'm trying not to do anymore. He said O.J. Simpson was innocent. Well, listen, if the glove does not fit, you must or quit. I guess it depends on which crime you're talking about. Because he did get convicted for going into that hotel and like taking back the sports memorabilia.
Yes.
That has been brought up a lot in my frame of world because I'm doing a lot of... I'm a very fun individual, Jeff. I'm very fun. And my podcasts are all political based. And they keep bringing up that instance a lot because it's like, just because you think you are acting under good faith, if you break the law, you're still breaking the law. It doesn't matter your intent behind it. And they always focus on that instance. That's all.
The law is not necessarily just. And that's...
No, not at all. I mean... Jeff, are you drinking? Because I'm gonna finish.
I intended on drinking. I should go get myself a drink. I'll be right back. You say hi to people. I'll be right back.
Oh, hello, viewers. It's me. You're welcome. I missed you guys. Sorry I haven't been around. I was in Maryland for 3 weeks working at the Cumberland Theater doing the Holiday Channel movie, the Christmas Holiday Channel movie Wonderthon. There's like it's super long. It was a great show. It was a super fun time. Super fun. Thank God I'm an actor and someone writes the words down for me. It was a blast. The cast was amazing. Fantastic time. Hopeful to reunite with them in this new year. Before the 18s of you blow up, it is like Thursday Thoughts. Before the 18s of you blow up our chat here, I have yet to see Saltburn. However, I do know one of the main things that makes people like lose their minds and they can't believe he did it, which involves his like lover doing something and then it being the residue being in a bathtub drain and then he like slurps it up. And I'm here to tell you, I have done a lot worse than that. And I'm proud of it. So, we're asking for an update on my elevator. It's working right now, the month that I'm currently just paying rent and I'm not there because I haven't been there at all for December. I was in Maryland for the first 2-ish weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks, and then I've been back here in the Midwest. Looks like it's going out of work on February 1st, and it'll be gone until about May 15th. Now, I'm hopeful that I will be employed and not in the apartment for that duration. I will be gone for April for the entire month. I'll be back in Tennessee. I need to sign that contract tomorrow. I'll be back in Tennessee. I will be doing Hamlet and Midsummer in rep at the Clarksville Regional Theater there. Can't wait to go back home. I started my year there, and I'm excited to have another gig out there at the beginning of this one. But yeah, they've been less than kind about my elevator. They have assured me that the stairs will be available for when I have to move because my lease is up March 24th and I don't want to pay $1,500 a month for a studio apartment in Lancaster, PA. I don't care if people in Lancaster think it's the Brooklyn of PA. It is most certainly not, and I am not spending $1,500 a month to live in my less than 600 square foot apartment.
You tell them.
Listen, I'm half tempted actually to look into what are the like legal ramifications for like rent, like for like getting like a parade license for Prince Street so that I have the authority to close the street down and just throw shit out the window of my apartment.
Okay.
I'm like, if it is less expensive and more like laughably funny to do that versus hiring a moving company, because so much of it I don't need.
Fun thing that I learned from Sam Lee, and I don't know if this will work in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. When he and Courtney moved from their apartment to their house, they hired the local the volunteer fire department to be their movers, because they're always trying to like pick up some extra cash on the side, and they don't charge as much as of a moving company.
I've heard this, and I've heard hire U-Haul. So my big question is, what is the I don't want to curse and get demonetized. What is the upcharge for being like, hi, help me move? I'm on the 8th floor.
I mean, I have a feeling with like, if it's a volunteer fire department, they'll you know, it's a workout. It's their training. It's conditioning.
I'm gonna February and March. If I don't have employment, first let's try to get a work from home job. But if I don't have employment and I'm in PA, every day that I leave to go to the gym is gonna suck because I gotta get back up. Jeff, you'll laugh at this. So I submitted at this apartment complex when I re-signed my lease. I submitted immediately like a request to transfer because they like once per your lease term, you're allowed to transfer. You're open to transfer to another apartment when it becomes available. So I asked for a 1-bedroom. I heard nothing. Last week, I get a text message. I was like, "Are you still interested in going to a 1-bedroom?" And I was like, "Sure, yeah, absolutely." And the first one, they're like, "Well, one is available March like 26th, like it was like 2 days after my lease was going to be up." I was like, okay, well that doesn't do me any favors. And they're like, well, the other one's available February 20th and it's on the 4th floor. And I was like, okay, what's the process of a transfer look like? And they're like, well, you have to give 60 days notice on your current apartment before you can transfer. And I was like, hold on, wait. So to move from a room in your building to another room in your building, I have to give you a 2-month notice. I was like, oh, so this is so that you have 2 months to rent out my space and you don't have any gap in rent like acquisition. I was like, interesting. And then I said, well, and I sent them a text message because I reached out to my father. And I sent them back like a really like back them into a corner like legal text being like, well, what are you going to do for tenants whose leases are up or people who are moving in or out of the building during the duration of the elevator not working? And that's like that was after I got the stairs will be open to move thing. And they were like, oh, well, we're coming up with a plan, blah, 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 blah. And then later they were like, and I sent them a message. I said, well, thank you so much. Allow me to think about it. I was like, just with the stairs, not with the elevator being out of commission during the duration of both of those like move-in times, like it's just difficult to say like, sure, I want to do this. And then they go, well, there's a 1-bedroom opening up in July. It's 807. It's 805. I mean, it's 805 next to you. That would make the move easier. And I was like, yeah, it's 2 months after the elevator's working again. So it's no longer a problem, you fucking idiots. I was like, oh, thank you so much. I'll move next door. Piss off. It's fine. It's fine. I also I was looking at my lease, and I think it's like only like $600 to like leave shit in the apartment. So also push comes to shove, I'll just leave everything behind.
Look, when Jules and I move, I think our bed is not moving. It is a heavy wood frame that we are not trying to carry anywhere.
I just like the brand new stuff that I bought when I moved into this apartment. I would like to come with me. But I also recognize that I bought it at IKEA and I've paid that credit card off and I've gotten 2 years out of it. And given my recent New Year's resolutions, that's a lot of miles on that bed. So it's like a used car I could probably buy new. I've used it.
Debbie's very concerned. Don't leave the wigs.
Oh not the estate. Not when I die. What matters? They don't reassemble at all the second time. Once it's over, Mads, you're so right. That IKEA furniture, it's over. Like you screw into that particle board tight enough to make sure it's not wobbly, and you can. It's even more graphic, but once you screwed it, and screwing it again, it's like a gap. It feels different.
What is screwed cannot be unscrewed.
And here I sit.
Oh, I hear the boop of our grandma. It's Katie.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Long story short, Ronnie had to go to the vet, and then I forgot it was Wednesday. So it's not Wednesday. It's Thursday. I thought it was Wednesday. That's where we're at.
Is Ronnie okay?
People. Huh? She's fine. She was being dramatic and was a little stressed out after the trip from Kentucky to Chicago. So she was not peeing like she was supposed to. So they had to go fluid her up. Yeah.
I understand. Now, Clem had a UTI last week, so.
Oh no.
All the pets and their pee problems.
If you've ever had a UTI, or really if anybody's like kicked you really hard and then rubbed some salt and dirt and broken glass in it and then made it teeny tiny, you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a common held experience than you'd think. I mean, who hasn't had their urethra ground with what am I drinking, Mom?
And if you haven't, consider that for your 2024 New Year resolution. What did I miss?
My family just going, what are you drinking tonight? Like my dad just texted me like on the sly. Well, for those of you watching at home, nothing like some Seagram's extra dry gin you find in your parents' bar just to the right of you.
Oh,
Sprite zero sugar, lemon lime, because I don't want to get scurvy. And I didn't have limes down here, so I grabbed a Sprite.
Nice.
And you're watching your sugar intake.
Well, these damn
holidays. Zero sugar.
These holidays, I tell you. I got home to like over like 6 dozen cookies, and my mom was pulling out like another 6, and I was like,
I think it is just a holiday mother thing where they never think that they have enough cookies, and there's always far too many cookies.
I'm not a mother, but may I speak from my perspective on this?
Please
do. I'm one of those people who will put too much food out on purpose because I want people to feel like they can take as much as they want without there being like, I have to think about other people and how much is left for other people. So maybe that's it. Maybe she's like, you get as many cookies as you want. And so do you and you. And she's just the Oprah of cookies.
There's 4 of us in this house and I love him. But my stepbrother Matthew is a bit of like a recluse. Not quite like Boo Radley, but we're getting there. And he's upstairs in his room like all the time. And so really it's just the 3 of us circling the like table downstairs. And I have nothing and no one when I'm home. Like I wait for them to come back, much like the family dog. So it's just me like playing my PS5 in the main room of the house and like being like, well, that's another level beat, chocolate covered pretzel.
I had a similar experience arriving back. My parents are savory people. I'm a sweet person though. So it was all savory foods at Christmas, right? When I came back though, we had a cookie party at work. So I had 2 Ziploc bags full of homemade cookies waiting for me. Guess how many are left? 0. I didn't let you guess. There are none. I ate them all. I said, for me, yes.
It's just, I'm telling you. Oh,
Do you
and I'm not mad
Oh,
about it.
go ahead.
I'm not mad.
Alex, I'll bet you have a good answer for this. Do you have like a go-to shareable sweet treat that you're like, I'm going to leave with an empty tray. I know this is good.
Oh, so I don't do a lot of small batch baking anymore.
Ooh.
Mostly because when I moved out on my own, I never bought the pants to do it. So that'll stop you dead in your tracks. But I do make, it's actually the inspiration behind my Christmas gift from my mom this year. I do make a really good, like, it's a dark chocolate pie with like an Oreo cookie crust. And like, and I make a homemade like whipped chocolate topping, and then there's more chocolate on top. And I take it to every family occasion that I have with Alexis, and I never bring it back. Like,
that's damn right.
I don't bring it with me. That's also why my mom this year got me a hand mixer, because I have only ever had a whisk and a silver bowl. And if you have ever watched a 6'3" bald man have to make stiff peaks, it's like
you're like the gentle giant in a fairy tale book.
Except my butt really and my wrists start to hurt. I got that from my mom. My mom also when she's in the kitchen, like her butt shakes. Like it's just like it's a She's watching right now, so I'm ready to be yelled at. Back in the Midwest for 8 days, and suddenly I'm like, oh, they're gonna pew pew.
Real talk though, Alex, did any guns go off Christmas Day?
No, we were pretty calm. Although I'm trying to remember, the only one that got really violent was it Christmas Day? It must have been, or maybe it was the Monday after. The Chiefs played the Raiders. And I'm in a Raiders household, which is fine because I don't really pay attention. And my grandmother was staying with us, and she is a Chiefs fan. And tensions got so high that Nancy, my grandmother, actually cussed because her team was losing.
What cuss was it?
She said son of a bitch. She said son of a gun. And then like the bad angels on her shoulder, my mom and stepdad went, no, go on. You're an adult. You can do it. And this 80-year-old woman went, son of a bitch. And just like threw her hands up. So funny.
What about you, Jeff? Do you have a shareable treat that kills every time?
Savory. My most requested thing that I make is my buffalo cauliflower bites.
I've heard tale of these.
There are 2 things that I have made for the Handleys so far. The first was a lasagna. The second was the buffalo cauliflower bites. And even Jonathan's meat-eating carnivorous family enjoyed the buffalo cauliflower bites. The other thing that I made that went over very well were chocolate chunk shortbread cookies.
Tell me more.
So, shortbread cookie base, but with not chocolate chips, chopped up chocolate in there, and then you roll it into a log, and you roll that log in demerara sugar, so it has this like outer sugary like crust on it, baked into these like perfectly round chocolate chunk shortbread cookies.
Yes, sir. 3
One
bags
recipe
full,
made
please.
like I gave the Handleys half, and Jules and I had half, and the Handleys demolished them the first night that I brought them there. And then Jules and I like ate our half over a few days. But those were my big baking projects this year. They were very fun.
I do have to give the recipe. My mama makes these things called Swedish butter cookies, which I think take like over a cup of butter in the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Boy. I got thickum thighs right now. But
Well,
you,
St. Louis is also famous for butter cake, right?
St. Louis is famous for a lot of things, mostly pissing off the other side of the state. They cut their bagels weird. I've talked about this before, but St. Louis cuts their bagels weird. They cut their bagels like a loaf of bread. They don't go this way. They do this.
Why?
Because you can. I don't know. Just to middle finger the rest of us.
Do they like to dip in cream cheese instead of spread?
They say that way you have a better you have a better cream cheese to like bagel ratio, but like no one else does it. They're also the only place in the world that calls Panera the St. Louis Bread Co. because St. Louis Bread Company used to be a real thing, and then they were bought by Panera. But none of the Paneras in St. Louis say Panera; they say St. Louis Bread Co. So if you're with someone from St. Louis, Missouri, and they're like out with you and you're like, you want to go to Panera? They will go, don't you mean to? And you're like, no, because we're in Des Moines, Iowa, and you're an asshole. Ooh, I hate that sound.
So, jumping back a little bit, people want to know what happens when you get to the hole of the bagel.
I think then you just get the like bagel bites that you can, the bagel crisps you get in the bag, where all of a sudden it's just like, I think you just get like. It's so stupid.
That's strange. That is strange.
I
had New Jersey bagels while I was home for Christmas. It was heaven.
I need to do Kansas City barbecue while I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
I did not go to the KFC, but
why even go?
I have my Colonel shirt on though.
Damn, Skippy, he's a hometown hero.
He's not even from Corbin. He just started a stupid restaurant there as a hotel.
Okay. But Katie, when I was in Lexington, Kentucky earlier this year, there were far more Tex-Mex places than there were fried chicken joints.
Yeah, because it's delicious.
But yes, they were all very good.
And
I was very confused.
Well, I feel like I saw somewhere that casual Mexican dining has officially replaced casual Italian dining in America for like favorite food. So that might be part of it. We love to eat. We love anything with pork and a crunch on it.
Yeah. Ooh, that's such a. You know what? I think under different circumstances, I've been like, what a lofty suggestion that casual Mexican had replaced casual Italian. But I think, like that holds a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
Because like mainstream casual Italian, you've got Fazoli's and you've got Olive Garden,
right?
A lot of.
So like you have every town has a pizza place. Like I would call that casual Italian.
I was gonna say, I think that's become like so like that's one of those like American foods that we claim. You're in an interview with Tom Holland where he's like, what would you describe as an American food? And someone's like, hamburger, and they're like, well, German from Hamburg. Okay, what's another one? And the guy goes like French fry, and like Tom Holland like looks off into space. I think pizza is one of those moments where people be like, that's American. I'm like, well, the way you do it.
The way it's tastiest. That's not true.
When we started putting macaroni on it, we walked from the Italian God's light.
Is there a patron saint of pizza? Do we have any Catholics in the audience?
I'm sure there is.
One on the team, but I don't think so. Let me see. God damn. If there's a patron saint of pizza, I will find religion again.
Well, I say that because there's a very large Catholic population up here in Chicago. And I saw a billboard on the way in that was like Saint so-and-so, the, patron saint of depression, anxiety, OCD, all that kind of crap. And they go, just pray to her. She's right there. I wish I'd taken a picture of the billboard.
Saint Antonio Abate?
It's okay, Saint
that
Papa
makes sense.
John.
Of Pisa, Pizzaioli? Yeah, there it is. We're all on it. There it is. There's a patron saint of pizza.
Patron saint of pizza. You gonna follow good on your promise there?
That's fantastic.
Excuse me.
Well, are you going to find religion again, or just specifically patron saint of pizza?
Alex is changing his confirmation name as we speak.
I never got confirmed. That's where I tapped out. I got up to the point where I can go in and have the wine, and then I said, I'm out. Deuces.
Got to the underage drinking.
Now, if Jesus starts bleeding gin, we're in. A bit of a drier red. He's a very sweet God.
That's why they say sweet Jesus.
You can tell you're drinking New Testament.
Tender and mild.
You're not drinking Old Testament, because Old Testament's dry.
We don't have Josh here to tell us about how that's wrong.
Oh, but Alex, how will you get married in a church? Bold of you to assume I'm getting married. I don't know. I kind of have accepted going into 2024 that I'm just going to be 30, flirty, and aptly single.
Look, who needs to get married in a church when you have friends that are certified by the Universal Life Church and can do it for you?
God,
bam,
line up.
That's official.
You, Doug, Selly, and Dana for the weirdest. Like, whose wedding is it anyway?
The three-headed expert to do the ceremony.
Oh God, it'd be so funny. Like it's not time for the vows. We're gonna do them with like scenes from a hat with suggestions from the audience. Or like me and my husband get up there, like say our vows to each other. We have to play. We're playing like whose lines. We each have lines in our pocket given to us by our loved ones that we have to insert in.
Yep.
Oh, bold of me
I
to
would love
assume
that
I
wedding.
would marry a funny man. I'm gonna end up marrying like.
I heard from a friend over the weekend that in most relationships, it's not top or bottom, it's not man or woman, it's not mask or femme, it's the raisin and the chocolate, because together you make a chocolate covered raisin. Which one are you? Huh?
Was this Peter?
No, this is my friend Evan.
Okay.
Not Hoffman either. I have more than 2 friends, thank you.
Oh, wow.
Wait, we got to Peter and not Evan, indicating that real Evan Hoffman is not a friend? Question mark.
Oh.
There's an I in Evan, isn't there?
Oh.
There's no me though. I'm kidding.
Not
Evan
yet.
Hoffman and I are buddies. But yes, I think I'm perfectly okay being the raisin and letting somebody else be the fun chocolate part. But do you have any thoughts, feelings, concerns? I'm trying to eat dinner and get you guys talking.
That's okay. No, I think it's great. I think I am the raisin.
Tell me more.
I compliment chocolate well. I can be fun, as evidenced by I'm in trail mix. I'm featured alongside an M&M. But I'm also egregiously sensible. Technically, I'm like repurposed grapes. And I think
it sounds like a Virgo.
It's like the Virgo in me. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's the Virgo in me. I would not do well if I was the chocolate. I don't know. Because in my mind, immediately when you say like a chocolate on a raisin, I think of Haley and Josh.
Mm-hmm.
And I am definitely, though a very different degree, I'm someone else's Josh Kahn, aggressively searching for their Haley Carlson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Except for he found his, and her
He did.
name's
It's true.
I was putting all your
my
birthdays
Haley Carlson
out.
does not confuse lotion and yogurt nearly as much.
Still does, but not nearly as much.
Yeah, just not as often.
Not as much as we'd like, at least.
Yeah.
What about you, Jeff? Are you the chocolate or the raisin?
I mean, I think I'm the raisin. I think we're a screen full of raisins right now.
Just drizzle us in. There's so much pressure to be the chocolate.
A
There
raisin
is.
improv.
The chocolate is what brings you into a chocolate covered raisin. Like, oh, this is what makes it a sweet, fun treat. This is how I need somebody to make me palatable.
No, that right there is a very real statement. I need someone to make me palatable because I can look, and the bald hair didn't like the bald hair. Okay, The bald head didn't help, and the aggressive like 3 eyebrows don't make me any more approachable. I just look mean. Like I can look mean, and like based on like how I like things, it's like, oh, don't get in their space, because like a dish doesn't live in a sink. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you left that there?
Tell us more.
So,
we're getting the old RA Alex coming out.
he followed me home. My stepbrother Matt looked at me one day. He came out of his tower. He put a dish in the sink. He put water in it.
Mm-hmm.
And my opinion is dishes don't need to soak if you do them right away.
Mm-hmm.
And he disappeared. And about 20 minutes later, I got up to get a glass of water, and I said, well, this needs to be washed. So I washed it, and it was drying in the drying rack. And he came down, like, to his credit, maybe another 20 minutes. And he's like, he looked in the sink, he goes, did you wash that? And I was like, yeah. And he just looked at me and goes, you are your mother's son. I was going to get to it. It just needed to soak. And I was like, it don't need to soak for over an hour. It's not taking a luxurious bath. It's just, scrub daddy. Let's go. That's raisin mentality.
Basic raisins also, like, you know, they're aged, they have wisdom, they, you know, so it's not,
they're constantly
all
trick you on Halloween.
You know, some people think that the raisin is what makes the chocolate covered raisin more appealing because it allows you to trick yourself that it's a healthy snack.
Sure, okay. You're like, oh, I'm going to the movies. I'm not going to get a popcorn tub full of butter. I'm going to get Raisinets that are only 50 grams of sugar.
I'm not going to get M&Ms, which are candy-covered chocolate. That's too much.
No.
But Raisinets feel nourishing.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite M&M?
Oh. Okay. Well, either the M&Ms that are peanut butter filled, not a peanut butter M&M.
Yes.
Or do you remember M&M Crispy?
No. Was
do.
it like a rice?
Yeah, it was like a little like M&M,
like a crunch bar M&M.
Like a crunch bar M&M. So it was so good. Also, too, it was kind of a cool thing when you were a kid and there was a flex to do the M&M minis in the tube and just like take them like down the whole tube in one sitting.
The whole candy cane full of them.
M&M minis were going to be my answer to this question.
Yeah, really? It's like, done.
Like,
also, just like popping a cylinder of candy, it felt so futuristic. Like I was in Star Wars and someone just gave me death sticks, you know?
Like Dippin' Dots, the ice cream of the future from the past. What about you, Ms. Noble? What's your M&M of choice?
Oh my gosh. I'm with you. I like the peanut butter filled M&Ms. Probably the best. That is the best one. I'm also a fan of the brownie M&Ms. And it's like fudgy on the inside. And it just tastes like an extra chocolatey M&M. But I love it. And they're like this big around. Choke on that. I had forgotten about the M&M minis though.
Oh no.
I was listening to. Oh, go ahead.
Tube. Oh, no, just the tube. Just like.
Yeah.
Tube. Mind the Gap, and it's just an M&M's tube. I remember going to New York for the first and one of only like 5 times, but definitely the first time, being like, "Wow, I'm at the M&M store."
Listen, it's a feat. Were you ever in New York when they had the Charmin store? Because I can't remember what moved.
Toilet paper?
Yeah, Charmin toilet paper. It was really impressive because it just had public bathrooms in it, like at the base.
It was just a giant royal.
For the greatest city in the world and one that I cannot wait to get back to, we're certainly very like conservative with our public bathrooms.
Like you're in town.
Have you ever been in a situation where like you just had to like couldn't find a public one?
In New York, in New York.
In New York, like, how did you solve that problem for yourself?
Oh God. So I think one of the few times that it happened was when I was a tourist, like in like a college trip, and thankfully, like it was just an aggressive, like finding the right kind of CVS TJ Maxx combo. Like it was going in a lot and just like being like, huh, huh, huh. But now you can actually, in maps, we've gotten to the point where you can type in bathroom, restroom, and you can find public ones.
Oh.
But I don't think you can do it anymore. One of my favorites was the 8th floor of the Times Square Marriott, because you could get to the 8th floor without checking in. Like you could just go to the elevator and go up. And so when all of us would have like auditions and stuff, like be it like Equity, like Ripley Greer, you just go back to Times Square and like you just go to the 8th floor and hang out atop that Marriott. And only ever once did I ever have to like exercise my like quote unquote right or power as like a merch boy, where I was like walking through Times Square and I had to go, and I was close to a theater that I worked at, so I was just kind of like walked in the box office, was like, hey, Creative Goods merch, showed my badge and like went in and being like, I'm working, but it was like, I gotta go, and then I came back up.
Oh man. So Alex, you have been watching a bunch of stuff on Dropout lately. Have you watched the Actually musical episode that has Rachel Bloom on it?
No, I have not.
Okay, so it's Grant O'Brien, Siobhan Thompson, and Rachel Bloom. And Rachel Bloom is having none of it with Grant O'Brien. It is clear that she finds him to be the most obnoxious person on the planet. And he goes off on a story about the Times Square Marriott and not getting seen for auditions. And she goes, so you mean you just made us sit through a story about you not getting to audition for something?
I do remember that. I do vividly remember Rachel Bloom. Now I do. I did not realize, I guess it was the musical episode, but her getting super annoyed while being on that show.
Yes. Yeah, there are a couple of musical episodes, and they do have a Bravo episode as well.
Nothing was more upsetting than when Wednesday of this week rolled around, and I had my robe on. And
You mean today?
Sorry. Depends if you're in Kentucky or not. And I shimmied on.
Katie crossed the national date line.
God, even Katie's
I gained a whole day.
I shimmied on down to the TV, turned on my Peacock subscription, and said, time to watch the newest and last Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And for no reason other than it's the week between the holidays, they're opting to they didn't air it until next week. And I was so defeated. Oh. Because these women have absolutely no problems, but the stakes could not be higher. I don't even like know. There's just like this, like they're at a dinner in Bermuda and the most baseless accusation came out where these names will mean nothing to you, but Lisa Barlow. So Angie K, who is Greek and reminds us every episode about her Greek heritage, was told by new housewife Monica that Meredith Marks, who I love Meredith, she is infamous for her phrase, I'm disengaging. Thank you so much. I'm disengaging. And also for earlier in the season, getting super mad at a dinner party while she was drunk, going, you can leave, which was great. Her and Monica, Meredith and Monica, were walking through downtown Salt Lake City 3 weeks prior. Also, the lower, like, third Chiron people at Bravo need to get a pay raise. They should unionize. Their lower thirds are so funny. And, like, she was like, I think Angie, like, this, like, whole area is, like, Greek and used to be owned by the Greek mafia. And then she was like, do you think that Angie used to be in the Greek mafia or is in the Greek mafia? We fast forward to Bermuda. Monica goes up to Angie K and says, so the other day, 3 weeks ago, we were in downtown Salt Lake City and, like, Meredith leans over to me and she's like, Angie K's in the Greek mafia. And like, she has all these like shady business. And like, she totally like warps the story, which the cameras picked up the story. So it's not like she could lie efficiently. Mm-hmm. And she goes, and then like later I get this like weird Instagram message from someone like telling me all about you being in the mafia. And then all of these like business documents that you and your husband like owe all this money, blah, 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 blah. And she brings it up to Angie and is like, I just wanted to tell you because Meredith was talking about it for no reason. Like, it's not been a topic of conversation in Bermuda. Monica's just sitting there doing this. So then we go to dinner and Angie's like, so I found out that like you've tried to come for me for a second time and you said that I'm in the mafia. And Meredith is like on like 6 benzos and like a thing of white wine. And she's like, I never said anything. And she's like, I didn't make the accusations. I did not say these things. And then Lisa Barlow, who was Meredith's best friend until a hot mic moment at the end of season 3, where she called her a slut and that she had slept with half of New York, which was a really great hot mic moment. And if you want merch for it, you can buy the entire monologue on a mug on Etsy. It's so funny. But Lisa, like, and then Monica's like, well, then what about all the DMs? And like, it's like you said you got a DM, and then you called me and asked if I got a DM, and then I did. So I think you sent the DM. And Meredith's like, I didn't send a DM. Why would I send DMs? And Lisa Barlow from the other side of the table is like, stop lying, Meredith. You did this to me. You did it to Whitney. Now you're doing it to Angie. Stop sending fake DMs. Just hold yourself accountable. Say you did it. Say you're sorry and we can move on. And Meredith's like, but why am I apologizing? I didn't. It's absolute chaos. They're 50 plus years old and this is the shit that they deal with. And I'm sitting here going, at 30, my biggest like issue is, once again, my elevator is out for 15 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But the stairs work. How, like, what bananagrams of a response is that? Sorry, I caught up on Facebook.
If I didn't like think that I had the possibility of like getting a job, and now that I'm going to say it online right now, so if it happens, like they won't have to pay any money, but like I would absolutely contemplate hurling myself down 8 flights of stairs for a lawsuit. Just see what happens.
If you want to help fund Alex's lawsuit, you can Venmo us at the IT Crowd. This is Alex's Venmo.
These 42 minutes, these 42 minutes of straight improv.
So this is tangential, but trying to get us back into improv. There is a game that I've been wanting to try with you all, and we just haven't had the time. And Alex had been doing a actually paying contract, but I want to do a quick wit game where I give you a fictional character or celebrity, and you have to do the Real Housewives stinger line for that character.
Yeah, all right, let's do it.
I'm so in.
All right, let me pull up this week's. It's not a game that I had planned for tonight, but let me pull up this week's suggestion post. Just pull a bunch of celebrities or characters.
I didn't realize that we were playing games. I thought this was getting drunk.
Oh, it's both.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to preface that this glass of wine hit me a little bit quicker than I thought it would. I thought the spaghetti helped.
I lost a mixer, so I'm just on gin now.
All right, what's the best gin cocktail?
Scotch this whole time.
The best.
We'll start off with from Madison Cadulo, Julie Andrews.
Do re mi fa sol la ti, but don't you dare call me ho.
Ooh, I may be merry, but under the right circumstances, I'll pop off.
Ooh,
good. Do you have one, Jeff?
For Julie Andrews?
Yeah. I'm maybe the queen of Genovia, but you're about to be the queen of Genovia didn't.
See, I just need to watch more Bravo shows. I saw the fingers crossed, Alex.
Oh, I'm trying to come up with one. Oh, okay. All right. Let's go with me on this. If you watch them, it'll make sense. A spoonful of sugar and the truth helps the medicine go down.
Ooh. All right. Let's switch it up. Let's switch it up to someone new. Marilyn Monroe. Diamonds may be a girl's best friend, but I'm going to be your worst nightmare.
Yes! Oh, I'm here. Oh.
Jennifer, natural blondes. I know she wasn't a natural blonde, but let's go with the joke.
Oh, shit.
I'm as thick as a Snicker. That's why your man eats me up.
My goodness.
I don't need your hot air blowing up my skirts.
Oh, that's very good. That's very
Joe DiMaggio may have needed 4 balls to walk, but I only need 2 to make him sit. Right? She was married to Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah.
No, she absolutely was. No,
Okay.
I knew where you were. No, she was absolutely married to Joe
No,
DiMaggio.
you got it. JFK really did. JFK really would jump in front of a bullet for me.
Oh, well, in that vein then, I'm not the other woman. I'm the only woman.
There you go.
Oh.
Yes. Wasn't she also married to Arthur Miller?
Yes.
I'm trying to think if there's like a Death of a Salesman one in there.
I made him Willie High Max.
That's good.
All right, let's do.
Who was that from again?
What?
Who was that from again?
That was from Sandy Trait.
Thanks, Sandy. And Madison did the first one, right?
Yes.
Thanks, Madison.
Did you ever watch Marilyn Monroe talk? She has this weird thing where like the top lip doesn't move, but the bottom lip does. She really holds still, so it all comes. And that's kind of how you get that like baby voice.
Oh, I wish Haley were here. She can do it. She can do baby voice real well.
The bottom lip,
just a sweet little sexy baby.
Ooh.
That's what she's doing.
All right.
Yeah.
This one's from Tori Marie Fraley Hogg. Kim Possible.
The sitch is that she's a bitch. I've seen Ron's other naked mole rat.
I have a friend for every situation. You don't want to be my one enemy.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, you can call me, beat me, but you may get sent to voicemail.
Whoa!
I like that one.
All right, so y'all are getting
and she cummed.
For some reason, the only villain that I could think of was Dr. Draken, and cannot.
Yeah, Draken, Shigo.
Oh.
Those were her main ones, you know.
Yeah.
Who's the guy? Wade. It's Wade.
Wade.
There's a Draken my balls on your face in there somewhere.
Draken D's nuts. I think a D's nuts joke is always funny.
Oh, that's right. Senor Senior Senior and Senor Senior Junior.
Junior.
The Disney Channel's first homosexual.
He is the himbo he's the himbo Johnny Bravo wished he was.
Yes. Yes.
But he loved his mama.
Such an A to C moment. We're on Disney Channel. We're talking about villains. I believe this is from the like luchador cartoon.
Mucho Lucho?
Mucho Lucho. Do you remember the Birthday Bandit? Voiced by
that was Mucho Lucho.
Voiced by Mark Hamill.
I did not know that.
I don't know why this got cracked open, which I was like, I'm trying to think of other villains, and we were like Draken, but I think he looks kind of like Draken. But it was one of his catchphrases was, "I was taught to arrive fashionably late, leave fashionably early, and steal all the best gifts." Like it just lives in a very weird. When I think about it, it's just a very like precarious part of my brain.
That's a real Housewives line right there.
Timo Supremo.
Oh, Timo Supremo. You're right.
Oh.
Then which one was Mucho Lucho?
That was like there was a P and
Nope. I know
Yeah.
one of them talked about why Cinco de Mayo was like an actual holiday. It was like the freedom of Mexico from France, right? So that's all I remember. I just don't know what programming it was on.
Yes, and he is right there.
Ooh, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, Evil Incorporated.
I'm with Dan on this one. When I was a teacher, I would watch Phineas and Ferb in the morning before going to school.
It was a great show. Fantastic. I was like, I'm too cool for Disney Channel, and then I started babysitting, and of course those kids weren't up when I got there, so I would watch whatever they had fallen asleep to the night before, because it's summertime, you sleep on the couch. But I loved it. I loved Phineas and Ferb. I thought it was so smart. But now, do you guys follow him? Do you guys follow what's his face on TikTok?
Dan,
The artist? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't follow
And
him.
also Doofenshmirtz's voice. He used to do. Listen, you can use social media for whatever you want, but I went to him for joy and pleasure, and now he's getting divorced from his wife, and every other video is about it, and I'm like, oh, I can't watch it. I feel bad that I can't watch it. I was like, I'm here for Perry the Platypus. That's what I'm here for.
Dan Povenmire. That's his
Thank
name.
you.
Dan Povenmire.
I understand he's hurting, but I cannot be there on this journey with him.
There is something to be said about like the outlet in which you choose that, like what you've cultivated, and then like, is that a good like reveal? Because like I agree with you, Katie. Absolutely. Please use whatever you have. If you need help, if you need to talk about it,
Yes.
you need to get out there, please do it. But also do know of like what have you cultivated and what's gonna happen.
Right.
Case in point, and like it's a very like light case, so it's not a surprise to anybody. I have an alt Twitter. I'm not being vague about it. I'm just not going to share it with the 24 people who are here because one of them is my mother. Alt Twitter, and so I follow people and I have followers, and one of my people that I follow is another gay from Lancaster. We've met in real life. I know him. We snap all the time. Like we talk. Like he sent out a message on his alt yesterday, which was just all of a sudden he's like, I just don't think anything is worth it anymore. I just wish I wasn't here, and like done. And that was the message on the alt, and on what is normally a spread of like, here is all parts of my anatomy and like what I would do to this person. That was the message, and so I sent him a text, and I was like,
you good, Sam?
I said, I was like, hey, BB, are you doing okay? And they were like, just going through a lot. And I was like, okay, well, like, if you ever need to like talk, like, you don't have to just send it out into the ether of a bunch of like headless torsos. Like, I'm here. And then like about 5 hours later, he was like, you should really know, like, you should be like vent in the correct spaces. And I was like, yeah, King, you should, because I don't know if you got any attention shouting into a room full of semen. I need help. Like, I don't know.
Like, what are they supposed to do in that moment?
Also, none of them are for this. They don't come to you for this. They just come to you, but they don't come to you for this. Like, I'm not your audience.
Well, especially things like that, and it stinks, but especially like celebrities that do TikTok or things like that, and they build a brand on there, and then something like that sort of breaks the branding almost.
Yeah, the fourth wall got broken. I'm like, everybody's a human, and you should always treat everyone like a human, and everybody has these big complicated lives. I wanted Perry the Platypus jokes. I didn't go to the produce section looking for processed food.
I'm the same way. I really try not to. There have been days where all I wanted to do is scream into my internet voids. I don't post on TikTok, but I do have like my normal Twitter, which at this point is just Cole Parker and like Harper Labrosi and I sending memes. So it's not like I don't have a fan base. I have my other Twitter, and then I've got like Facebook, and I'm like, God, sometimes you just want to post like a status. You just want to say something. But then every time you start, you go, And I can't. I just can't. People right now are posting like they're, looking at like 2023, and some people have very valid feelings about the year, but they post these very like long things or like these very like aggressive things. And I go, what is it? What's it doing?
Okay. I wonder if, because all of us grew up with that as an option to like put our feelings out there. I find myself almost compelled to do it. Like, I'll be like, oh, I need to express this feeling. What's the quickest way for me to get this feeling out of me? It's social media. It's social media. They're coming in and it's rotting your brains.
I guess maybe because they're also too, though, I would say 9 out of 10 times the thing or the person that I'm venting about can find my social media or is part of it, and I'm not gonna do that. Someone actively in my life posted.
Now that's a sub status. That's like sub.
I can't even say here's a sub tweet because I'd have to be so vague about being vague. I'd literally have to just be like annoyed, period, and that'd be it. And I don't want anything, but I don't want people knocking on my door, and I don't want people asking me like, "Are you okay?" Because the other thing too is I'm not going to do, and I'm sorry if you do this. I find it to be very eye-rolly is when someone goes, "I can't talk about it, but I just need thoughts and prayers," and I'm like, "Well, then why the announcement? If you can't talk about it, then what's the point of it?"
Now, Alex, are we just nosy Virgos? Are we just nosy Virgos though? And we kind of want to be part of the business?
I'm not a Virgo, but I like. Nothing bothered me more than those Facebook trends where it was like, post 10 pictures of you doing a thing, no captions, no explanation, just the like. No, I want the explanation. Tell me why this is significant. I want to know.
But at the same time, don't tell me when you're sad. I'm sorry. That guys, I guess what I want to say is it's a great way for your friends to connect with you. We're just being. I'm being bitchy.
I am. I guess also too, if you're going to use it to be sad, be 100% committed to the sad. I guess don't reveal to me the idea of an emotion and then tell me you're not allowed. Because the amount of times I spend, and there's a couple people in my life who it's different. I'm in their like close friend circle, so if they send something up, it's a different kind of flair because I'm in a tighter. There's a different web. You're behind a paywall in a way. So I will reach out after that. Or if I can read a tweet, I can kind of see it and be like, hey, I see this. Are you good? And they could be like, oh, stand down, soldier. But I don't know. Maybe I am nosy. Or maybe I'm just like scrolling through and I'll be like, oh, Old Home. Oh, great. That movie bombed. Or like, that's fun. And then I get to like a long thing that ends in by like, please don't ask any more questions at this time. And I'm like, well, who's your PR person? Like William, like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I love it when it comes up on my Facebook page and it's like, this is what you posted 13 years ago. And it's like, some people really know where to poke a sharp stick. You know what I mean?
No.
And I'm like, who hurt you?
The app I deleted the fastest once I got to a certain place in therapy was Time Hop because there was no joy to be found in that app. Oh my God. I will tell you right now, as a young queer boy who struggled with having like any type of like boyfriend and had like one guy he kept coming back to, the amount of times that I tweeted Frank Wildhorn Jekyll and Hyde lyrics like in his eyes and a new life pop up so many times, and I'm like, first of all,
that's right. Weird. You posted more C lyrics on your Facebook page, on your MySpace.
And I'm with Dan. It was the aim away message for most of my high school time. Because that was before Facebook Messenger replaced AIM in the daily use.
I put on my Instagram story today that I am one mild inconvenience away from captioning all my photos with emo lyrics.
I will say though, someone brought up LiveJournal. Oh no, it's Stevo brought up LiveJournal. I remember having a Zanga, and they really tried in the like late 90s, early 2000s to make like the online journaling a thing. And I had it for a long time. Sorry, I went into HTML code. And I got more like up into like making sure it was pretty and looked good than I did the journaling part. Also, Jeff, to respond to your question in our private chat. Yes. And then
we just did what we said we hate doing. I can't tell you. It's in our private chat.
Yeah, I kept it in the private chat. You responded to it in the public.
Here's the thing. I'm not vague booking. I'm just saying the answer to the question was yes.
whole audience is like,
You're not. Now all of you are nervous. Does it make you nervous? Well, if it makes you less nervous or more nervous, the second we are no longer broadcasting, I'll talk to the two of them about that question.
Okay, so last thing before we sign off for the night, what was your go-to aim away message emo song lyric?
Probably Black Parade, Mama, they're all full of lies. Something like that. Or Phantom of the Opera. Anything Phantom of the Opera. Don't laugh at me. I'll own it.
No, I'm not laughing at you. A text just came in from someone else who asked a question that was vaguely similar to Jeff's question.
Is Alexis or Jonathan?
The snipers, they're out. It was not Jonathan. Jonathan's busy. Jonathan is currently right now dealing with the repercussions of having what I call Grinch syndrome. The end of the movie. What was I gonna say? No, I don't think I had like a go-to like song. I think because I see evidence of this in my Facebook. I don't remember my AMI years like too early, but I was kind of like a very like honest of like what I was off doing, ending it with BRB because you used to actually come back. Now you never go away. You used to actually have to come back.
Were you all ever actually taught what internet abbreviations meant? Because when I was in 7th grade, my friend used BRB for the first time on AIM, and I thought it meant bathroom break for years.
I don't think I was ever I think it was taught in the streets, the mean streets of AOL chat.
I wasn't taught them. I think I may have like grown up in the year because like I think I grew up in the generation though where we openly like shared like pictures of the code, like you know what I mean, like the G2G, like and then equal and then like what the phrase. I will say I've been victim to this. She doesn't do it anymore, but in the early 2010s, one of my grandmothers thought LOL meant lots of love.
Because it did. My mom
also just said the same thing.
And it had several times been sent to family members under like precarious circumstances, making us have like I think a giant discussion about what LOL meant, because it would be like it would just be like heard you're at home, heard you're homesick and not feeling well. LOL, grandma, and like
it did mean lots of love.
It did.
Because I only ever knew laugh out loud, and I remember having to like actively ask a question. I also did not realize that SMH up until late 20s was shake my head.
What do you think it was?
Shit might happen.
I kind of love that.
And I don't remember what was the incident that made me. Someone said it must have been in the throngs of when we were all like, it had to have been maybe 2020, because I think it was when I was just really in the computer, and someone was talking about something, and it was a very valid like social like movement, some sort of like some sort of like big injustice, and they ended it with SMH, and I sat there for an oddly long time being like, why did you end that with shit might happen? Like what? And then finally got to my head, and I was like, oh.
I had that with that feeling when
TFW.
TFW.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I would switch the letters around in my head, and I thought it was for the win. Many times. And it never made sense. And I'm like, I'm not Googling this. This is what I think it is.
Yeah. Well, now you all know the deep internet roots of improv technology.
Wait, I have a question before we're all done.
Yeah.
What silly thing do you want to try in the new year?
Topping. No. This heterosexual thing's not going away anytime soon. silly new thing I want to try in the new year.
Like my silly new thing that I want to try is I want to get a different treat from the like in my grocery thing, like something I've never tried before. Every time I go on a grocery run, just a different treat.
Oh.
You know,
I like that.
like I've never tried Pocky. What am I waiting on? Those kind of things.
Oh, Katie, you're gonna have to let me know what the good Asian grocery stores are in your area.
Yes, I will. I will share.
Mm-hmm.
I also started watching Firefly, and it's like the Rosetta Stone of every man that I had a crush on in college.
Oh my god!
I was like, they weren't funny. They were quoting this.
What a brilliant, brilliant season of television.
Mm-hmm.
Singular.
Have I told you that it's because of Firefly that I knew that Jules and I were meant to be together?
No.
So it was Jules and I got together when I was still running the drama program at the high school in Central PA, and they had the like local theater award things that every school district has or area has, and I directed Crazy for You, and it got nominated for nothing, absolutely nothing. And I was lamenting this to Jules, and Jules just said, "It's all right, babe. Firefly got canceled after one season."
And you're like, you're right.
You're right.
And it came back for a pretty decent movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, there's a movie?
Serenity.
Serenity.
It's the conclusion. It's I like it.
So we never. Sorry, I interrupted. What silly thing are you doing? I just wanted to share. If you don't have one, I encourage you to pick something silly.
I don't know if I have something like silly. I will be very honest, and I wanted to pick it back up, because I was doing really well during the month that we were at our peak, and I mean we as in queer people. I was reading more queer literature.
Okay, yeah.
And I was doing a very, very great job when it was June and everything was out on display.
Sure.
Didn't have to like struggle to like find what I was looking for, but I think I'd like to pick that back up.
I love that, and I thank you for the recommendation on They Both Die at the End. It was a very heartbreaking tale.
Oh my god!
You recommended that to me. Sorry.
You read it?
I listened to it, which was extra sad.
I have never shouted at a book more. It was a double whammy week for me because I had just read it's the Pericles one. Greek mythology.
Song of Achilles.
Song of Achilles. I had just read that and sobbed openly in an airport.
Mm-hmm.
Just like bawled my eyes out. Another one where I just like, I know where this is going, and I still sobbed. And then they both die at the end. Though they tell you it is such a like the last like 3 chapters, Katie. I was adamantly yelling at a book. I knew where, and like they tell you, and I was just shouting. I was like, you're shouting.
All I could think of was like, this is what people watching Romeo and Juliet for the first time must have felt.
Mm-hmm.
Like they tell us exactly what's going to happen, and then we're upset that it does.
I just like I've never wanted to like physically reach in and stop a character from doing something. I was like, if you had just stayed put, I was so mad. And then again, tears. Can I get a gay book out there that doesn't just kill your darlings, by the way? Can I get something where we both are allowed to live at the end?
You gotta just go into filthy literature for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if that. I'd probably still cry because it's not happening to me.
All right, Jeff, anything silly on your horizon?
I'll be honest, I have not had the time to think about anything silly to do in the new year. I've got way too many serious things going on in the new year so far.
Understood. I hope you find a spark of joy that you can follow each month.
Oh, Jeff's gonna have a spark of joy soon. What, like February 10th?
I was saying that sounds like we're expecting. We are not. We are.
I was like, if you mean to tell me,
not if I have anything to say about it. If you don't,
Clementine's pregnant.
You go to that window right now.
Clementine already had puppies. She is fixed now.
Oh, was she a teen mom?
When we got Clementine was 2 when we adopted her, and she had just had puppies a few months previously. All the puppies had been adopted, but she had heartworm because she was a stray. And so she had to be treated before she could be adopted out. So she was adopted out after her puppies. So when we got her nips were dangling.
Drop them out. Let me see them.
She was a nipply girl. Oh boy.
Bless her heart.
Well,
So
Now
on
she
that
gets to
note,
be the puppy.
on that note, Alex, Katie, thank you so much for hanging out and drinking tonight. Everyone who joined us, thank you for hanging out and helping us ring in the IT New Year. We hope your 2024 is filled with joy and laughter and surprises, because that's what improv is all about. Surprising yourself, surprising other people, but ultimately having each other's backs.
may it just be precedented events, for the love of God.
Amen.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, good night, everybody.